Yes, people, welcome back to another stream. It's the Turkish. I just feel like I'm 24/7 streaming at the moment. You know what I mean? But I'm loving it. Oh, God, we're having a meltdown. Oh, no. Oh, this is bad. Oh, no, this is real bad. God, I'm trapped, man. Chat, I'm trapped. Oh, Nah, I'm not even joking, man. I'm not even joking. Yo, I'm in the mud. I'm in the mud. Please hold. Please hold. Oh, dear me. What a start to the stream. What a start. What a professional streamer. And we're back. Are we back? I'm back. What a terrible start. my bloody wire got stuck in the bloody, the chair wheel things. Oh, you don't need to know that. Sorry. Yes, in the chat for a shout out. Let's go. Ballo Tubby. Big up Man City fan. Tommy. Big up Briggsy. Big up Talking. Ben fan. Big up Recruit Only. Elliot. Crystal B. Big up to Herbal. MCFC for life. Big up to Georgios. Germs. Big up to Becky. Oh no, guys, come on, good streams, come on. Big up Germs. Massive with a free LB. Yes, guys. Good to see you, man. Big up Sign Silver. Big up MC Football. Vinay, Harry. Good to see you guys. The Super League, I think the champions is back. Yes, that's right, my friends. Been a few years, been 2 years, I think, since they tried to implement a brand new football system into our game. It got rejected up and down the country and across the continent. However, they will not stop. They continue to try and devise plans to integrate a new footballing European competition into our game. Will they succeed? That is what we're going to discuss today, guys. Make sure you are dropping a like button on the stream if you've not done so already. 200 people locked in right now. Let's get the likes past the 100 likes. Hit the thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe to the channel. And Nobbins is going to be here any minute now. So, so what's actually going on here? So, obviously, European competition, right? Champions League. Effectively, what's happening here, is you've got a lot of teams in the Champions. Talk about the big teams, yeah? The Real Madrids of the world, the Barcelonas of the world, yeah? The Uniteds, the Liverpools, the Bayern Munich, Juventus, PSGs, these clubs, yeah? And City are obviously probably involved in that as well. However, we believe that last time that it was City were the last ones to join. City were a bit sceptical, but joined because everyone else joined. But City are involved in this as well, 100%. And they feel that they are not getting the right amount of money, and they feel that they can get more money by having a better, I say better for them, financial integrated competition. And it's quite simple, really. If you look at the Champions League now, for the big teams, it's not really a serious competition until you get to the quarterfinals, right? City have played who? Leipzig, Red Star Belgrade, and who else did we play, guys? Someone else we played, right? Last 16, we're now playing Copenhagen. The new system will have the top teams playing each other in a league format, right? So you're getting bigger games, which will then bring in more viewers and therefore more sponsorship money. And then obviously you're getting less of the games that no one really wants to see. Manchester City versus Belgrade is not on the list of everyone wants to see. So it's all about money. We all know that. It's not a surprise. But they're going for it again. Now, they have made some changes, and we'll discuss that in a minute. Big up to Nobbins for jumping on. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Unwanted news, this morning. But apart from that, I'm fine.
Yeah. It's unwanted to a lot of people. I've seen a couple of people say that they're open to the idea of a Super League, and there is a poll running in the chat. And it's more split than you might think, bro. 52% of people in the chat are saying they're against the Super League, but a massive 48% of people are for the Super League. Now, do you think that is because City fans we've been through a not nice relationship with UEFA? Do you think this is reflected of the general football population, or do you think City fans have a slightly more well, I don't care about UEFA because of everything that we've been through, with the battles that we've had with UEFA, with with the racism thing that happened at Porto, and then City getting fined more for coming out 30 seconds late, and then obviously all the FFP stuff as well. Like, do you think this is specific to City fans, or do you think this might be a wider picture?
Maybe, I suspect it's probably more born out of like not fully understanding what the Super League is and what it will become. I don't know what we've discussed so far, but I mean, for example, they talk about it being an open broadcast, a free broadcast, but at the same time, they're talking about massive income coming in. And it's like, right, well, those two things contradict each other. So where's this money going to come from then? It's probably going to be like, an advert on the screen. It's going to turn into like the like American football, where there seems to be like an advert every 5 seconds or something. So I can only assume that it's born out of not really fully understanding what the situation will look like and what it actually means. This is, as I tweeted, this is a vanity project, which is only going to be helpful to the self-interested elite who can't manage their own finances and therefore want an easy solution to their own misdoings and their own financial mismanagement. This is why you've already seen your Real Madrid president Perez come out and say, "Oh yeah, this is great." This is why I've seen Barcelona president Laporta come out and say, "Oh yeah, this is great." Of course, they want it because they're both awfully run clubs in respect of not actually understanding their finances. Like we've known for like the past like however many years that Barcelona especially are in a financial shithole, and this they were sort of banking on the Super League as being their get out of jail free card. It's only going to be those clubs who it benefits. The fans aren't. It's not going to be the fans who benefit, no matter how much they want to.
Why can't the fans benefit from this? Why can't the fans? Because I've seen that they're proposing that all matches will be free to watch for fans.
How are you going to make matches free whilst simultaneously bringing in massive income?
Don't know.
That's impossible. That's the point. That's not possible to do unless you are, as I say, shoving in adverts every single second. The reason why the football is so lucrative is because of the fact that fans are milked or whatever. So it's a lovely fairyland world and a lovely dream fantasy to say it's going to be free for everyone and that all of that stuff. But that is obviously going to come at the sacrifice of the entertainment value of it. I personally can't watch American football purely based on the amount of adverts. I can't watch the NBA because of that. And it's annoying because I actually like the sport as a spectacle, but I actually can't watch it because of the amount of breaks. It's going to be a similar thing. That's what it's going to be. So if it's not the fans who are suffering from a financial perspective, it will be the fans suffering from, as I say, a bombardment perspective. And
but it not
I'm
just
sorry,
be general sponsorships for the competition, because if you're getting, because effectively what this does is at the top league, and by the way, I'm just playing devil's advocate, I'm just discussing all possibilities. Sure. I'm not saying I'm for it or against it. I'm really at this moment in time, I'm just like seeing what information is coming out. I don't really have an opinion on it yet. But if you're getting, because at the moment, right, it's generating all this sponsorship revenue. You see like the Gazproms on that. I don't know if they're still doing actually because it's Russia in it, but you get what I'm saying. Heineken are all sponsoring the things. But if you get, but like I say, the group stages, they're all kind of dead games. You know what I mean? Whereas this new competition is going to generate big football matches, Real Madrid versus City, Liverpool versus Barcelona. All the big teams are going to be playing each other. That's going to bring in more sponsorship because there's going to be more eyes on the game. And there's going to be more eyes on the game if they make it free. So could that not be a way that they could generate more cash and compensate for the lack of TV rights?
I would really struggle to understand a world in which you don't charge viewers anything for your content, but you are still expecting to make more money than if you did. I don't understand what world that is. So I personally don't see it happening, to be honest. And again, why do we need this? Who has seriously been asking for this? I'll tell you who's been asking for it. It is the clubs who, as I've discussed, are really bad from a financial management perspective and are throwing their toys out of the pram because they've been neglecting their own finances for however many years. They're now jealous of the Premier League product because, guess what? We decided to make our league somewhat competitive rather than a monopoly or a duopoly. Therefore, we've actually got a good product. So, as I say, the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona, especially, it seems, Juventus were one of the main ones as well who were involved in this. It's only going to benefit them. But it's just funny because, as I tweeted, this project is already dead, as far as I'm concerned. Premier League clubs legally will not be able to join it without Premier League approval, which is never going to happen. So immediately, you can sack off any idea of United or Liverpool or Arsenal or City or whoever being involved in this project. Bundesliga clubs will never join it because it totally contradicts what the culture of German football is. It contradicts the ethos of what German football is. We saw Bayern were invited to the Super League and they were like, well, no, because we're fan-owned or whatever. Even PSG, we saw they weren't interested in joining the Super League when it first came out. They flat out rejected it. So what you're going to have, you're not going to have any English clubs in there, and you're not going to have any, you're not going to have the best German clubs in there. You're not going to have the best French club in there. So I don't actually know what you're going to have. You're going to have, like, the Spanish giants, whatever, Italian clubs, but it's surely going to get to the point where there's actually not enough relevant clubs to join. So you're actually going to have to get Saudi League clubs involved. So they're going to have to change the branding of this from European to worldwide.
Yeah, well, and I agree with that. I think the Saudis...
Can I just say some League One that says Real Madrid the best run club on the planet? I'm talking specifically in respect of their finances. There's a reason why they want the European Super League. It's because they know that they are facing an uphill battle and losing that battle from a long-term perspective, from a financial perspective. It's no longer Real Madrid's world where they can just be the Galactico club that they want to be. That's the point of this Super League. That's why they want it, because the writing's on the wall.
Interesting. Yeah, now the thing about the Saudis, I've said this since day one. I think the Saudis will eventually get in the league, whether it's a Champions League, whether it's a Super League. You see it with the bloody Eurovision, man. The Australians are in the Eurovision. Yeah, I mean, at some point, yeah, it's the Saudis, man. They're going to get in my opinion. Yeah, 100%. Cyan Silver says, I'm for this Super League. Let's fight corruption with more corruption, says Cyan Silver. And Andrew, with a good point, says, didn't the Super League start in 92? Well, that's what Nobbins is saying, isn't it? You know what I mean? They're doing this because the Premier League is such a good product that they need something to compete with it. And obviously, at the moment, the Champions League isn't doing that. The Champions League is not. It doesn't compete. It competes at the latter stages. You know, when you get to the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, and the finals, the Champions League probably competes with the Premier League. Of course, it does, but like it doesn't compete the group stages. No, it doesn't compete with the group stage, and that's what they're trying to do. And the amount of money that they could bring in by doing this is a madness. And listen, I do think they've made some improvements. I do think they've listened to some of the criticism that they made the first time, but there's still, in my opinion, one big thing that they've missed here, which is going to stop this from going through. And it's still, again, about merit-based competition. Because if you think about it, one of the reasons that this whole thing failed last time, yeah, there's a lot of things, but it was because of the fact that you couldn't get in the competition based off of merit in the league. Yeah. And that's obviously how European football's founded. You know, you get promoted if you do well, you get relegated if you do bad. Yeah. And obviously the higher up the league table, the better the European qualification. Now they've addressed that slightly by the fact that it is open and you can qualify for the European competition based on your league position, but you only go into the first one. You only go into the first one. And effectively what this is going to do now, this is going to keep the top clubs at the top, because City, all the big teams will go into to League One, right? This is it a Star League, whatever it's called. This is it the Star League, but you could finish 20th in the Premier League, but you'd still be in the European competition. So it's still not going to go through because it's still not fully based on merit. They've changed it. They've changed it slightly, and I think something that we need to get our head around of that this style of competition. It is its own league. That's why you can finish bottom of the Premier League and still be in European competition, because it's not a qualification for a tournament. It's a league, which is what it's called, a Super League. Do you know what I mean? And they're saying, obviously, if you're not in the European Super League and then you finish first in the Premier League, you will be entered into the bottom tier of the Super League, right? But if Manchester City finish 20th in the Premier League, right, which might be something to consider if we do get 100 points knocked off, we will still be in the European Super League the year after, because we'll just providing that we're in the league, in the Super League, you'll still be there. So they've still not fully addressed that issue. And I think that is going to be something that a lot of people don't like. I'm going to try and find a video on YouTube about it, see if we can watch like an explanation. But what else did you see today, bro, that you didn't particularly like about it? Or is it mainly the merit-based stuff? Like, what are you saying?
Yeah, it's partly that. It's also just like, sorry, excuse me. My main issue, as I say, with it is just the fact that no one wants this in respect of like, no one was asking for this. There was no massive clamor for this outside of the main orchestrators of this project, which as we've discussed, it's Perez, it's Laporta, it's I can't remember who the Juventus president was at the time, but it was him. Again, it's so obviously just a really dead cash grab, and to try to dress it up as anything other than that is just disingenuous and pathetic, to be honest. It's just boring. And I even think about, another reason why I don't think it will happen. If you think of like the likes of Jude Bellingham, he obviously cares about sort of like the prestige of the competition, the Champions League. That's why he's gone to Real Madrid. I'm just thinking about from his perspective. He'll have grown up, like obviously watching like the biggest Champions League fixtures, etc. Is he really? And we all know how ambitious he is. Is he really going to be happy with joining a soulless husk of a new competition, which has no relevance and has no history in the world? I would really question whether that's the case, and that's another reason why I don't think it will happen or will succeed anyway. I mean, we've already discussed it's impossible for Premier League clubs to join legally, so. Already, you're not going to have any of the English clubs involved.
Yeah. Should we have a look at the proposed format? We've got the big up to Christo says sick of dead rubber games versus Crvena Zvezda.
By the way, you're gonna have more dead rubbers. By the way, there's just gonna be more. Because isn't it more matches that they're just shoving in?
But you're not going to be playing Crvena Zvezda.
No, but you might still have you can have more irrelevant fixtures if there's more games generally, aren't
you? Possibly, yeah. Well, depends really, because obviously there's only 8 teams in the league. So you're going to be fighting for qualification to the knockout round. I think, is it 4 go through? 4 go through. So you need to fight to get into the top 4 to go through to the next round. We'll have a look at it in a second. And then I think the 2 bottom teams get relegated. So I'd be surprised if there is dead rubber games, Robbins. Because you've got to avoid relegation, and you need to try and qualify for the knockout tournament, and you're not going to get these games. Let's have a look at the. I'm pretty sure we can show this, man. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure we can show the.
They'll probably want it for free advertising.
Exactly. Yeah, it's only 2 minutes long. So let me just play this for a sec. Make sure you guys can hear it. Yeah. Can you hear that?
A22 wants to create the world's most exciting club football competition. Our proposal aims to ensure competitive tension throughout the year. It's an open system featuring promotion and relegation and 2 stages, a league stage and a knockout stage. The European Men's Super League will have 64 participating clubs, divided into 3 leagues, Star, Gold and Blue. The Star League consists of 16 clubs divided into 2 groups of 8. It's the same for the Gold League, 16 clubs, 2 groups of 8. The Blue League will have 32 clubs split into 4 groups of 8. During the league stage, clubs play each other within their groups, home and away. That's 14 matches per club each season, 7 at home, 7 away. The top 4 clubs in each group of the Star and Gold Leagues and the top 2 clubs in each group of the Blue League will qualify for the knockout round, starting with the quarter-final. The quarter and semi-final consist of a 2-legged knockout round, home and away. The final will be played on neutral ground. The knockout round finals winners will be the Blue League, Gold League and Star League champions. Our proposal is built around sporting merit. Promotion, relegation and exit from the competition happen each season. The club finishing at the bottom of each group of the Star League will be relegated and replaced by the 2 Gold League finalists. The same system applies in the Gold League. The last club of each group will be relegated and replaced by Blue League finalists. In the Blue League, 20 out of the 32 clubs will leave the competition altogether and be replaced by clubs depending on their domestic league performance. This system ensures mobility within and across leagues. And as matches will be played midweek, this format is completely compatible with domestic leagues. This proposed format for football will guarantee openness, competitive tension, and success based on sporting merit. It is one competition for all clubs, all players, and all fans.
So there you go. That's the official thing. So yeah. So just to address your point, Nobbins, about there being dead game. I don't think there would. Because
there'll be at least be more games. At
there's
least
going to be more games.
How many was it in that initial group stage? Was it 14?
So there's 8. There's 8. Yeah. So there's 14 group games.
How many? If you get to the final of the Champions League like this season, how many games do you play?
I seen a guy called Gaz. Let me tell you, a guy called Gaz on Twitter calculated it. He said if you got to all the finals, you'd play 76 games a season, which is pretty mad. So yeah, effectively, okay. So if you talk about what's good about this competition, right? Because there is some good stuff about this competition. 100%, there would be less dead games, and the top teams would be playing each other more often, right? Because the top 16 teams in Europe would eventually get to the point where it's all the best teams and you'd be playing better games. The slightly downside is, how special would that be? Would it wear off in the end? Because you're playing the best teams every year. But that is certainly better. One thing that I'm not a massive fan of here, but it's because this is so different, is although they say this is based on merit, it's based on merit in their own league. In the Super League, it's based on merit, not based on your league form. So that's what I'm saying. Like Manchester City, right? I mean, this by the way, if we are found guilty, this could massively benefit us if we get in there before this punishment. Because say we get relegated from the Prem, we'll still be able to play European Super League football, because you don't get this is the thing. This is why the merit thing. Yes, they are right in saying this league is based on merit, but it's based on merit where you finish in the Super League. Not based on where you finish in your domestic league, apart from entry into is it the Gold League, the bottom league?
As in the Gold
The
League.
Blue League is the third tier. So
those names, by the way,
I know the names are shocking. So you got the Blue League, which is the Conference League, Gold League, which is the Europa League, and then the Star League, which is the Champions League, essentially. And the only merit-based entry into this competition is to get into the Blue League based on domestic form, which is fine. But then the rest of it is based off of this. And this is one of the problems that they're going to have, and one of the reasons why this won't go through is that say City have a really bad year. I'm just using City because obviously most of the people in this channel will probably be City fans. Not everyone, but most of the people will. If City have a bad Premier League campaign and finish 10th, right? We will still be in the European Cup next year, which is what Nobbins is saying about the teams that are being poorly financially run. This is great for them. Because if they have one bad domestic campaign, they're still getting that European super cash. You know what I mean? And this is what they want. They want the European super cash all the time.
It keeps the rich richer. That's all it is. That's the whole premise of this league, is to ensure the survival of the already established elite clubs and to make sure that no one else can join that little gang, which is already the case, but it's just furthering that point.
So let me ask you a question then. If they removed the merit-based system that they've implemented here, and the merit-based system was purely based off of domestic football, like it is now in the Champions League, what would you be? Would there be anything that you would be against this competition in that sense? Because what would be stopping you from saying, okay, yeah, I'm kind of chill with it?
Well, I'm fundamentally against the concept of it because, again, I asked the question, what's the point? We know the point. The point is just because these presidents of these clubs have been running their clubs poorly for the last few years and they want money. So it's built on a fundamentally dishonest premise. So that's why I'm against the concept in general. That it could be the best format ever, realistically. It's never going to be. But it's, as I say, it's based on such a dishonest premise, which isn't geared towards anything other than their own survival. I don't see where the positives are. I don't understand why this is happening outside of it being, as I say, a cash grab, and outside of securing the likes of Barcelona for for the foreseeable future. It means they don't have to worry about financial consequences. They can do whatever they want, and I'm against that as a concept, I think.
Yeah. No, and I am as well. But this is what I'm saying. If they was to remove that and make it purely based off of domestic thing, which doesn't then give the likes of Barcelona that instant protection, and Manchester City as well. And I know you're skeptical about the free TV thing, but they are saying it's going to be free on TV, whether or not there's going to be ads. Maybe you can pay like £4.99 a month or whatever, and like you do on YouTube, like YouTube Premium, and get rid of the ads or whatever. They've said that it's going to be £25 tickets. Like, I look at it then and go, well, if the problem is that we don't trust them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We don't trust them. But if they can like guarantee somehow, I don't know how they would do this. You know what I mean? You might know more about this than me, where they can sign a contract and whatever. But if they can guarantee that all tickets are going to be £25, that every match is going to be available for free on television, and then the merit-based system is purely on domestic success and not based off of just being in the competition, then I'm sitting here thinking, well, why not?
And that would be a lovely world which we could live in. And yeah, look, if you give me a hypothetical where it's all perfect and there are no issues, then obviously I'm going to accept it, because why wouldn't I? Because there are no issues. But that's not the reality of the situation, is it? Like, they can tweak their rules as much as they want, but fundamentally, you've got Perez at the top, you've got Laporta at the top. These are men who I just cannot and will never trust, based on their history and based on what we know their motivations are.
Yeah.
So again, if it was a perfect format, then why would I be against it? If it was a perfect motivation, why would I be against it? But I am, and if you are for it, I would suggest that's more born out of ignorance. You can see that as arrogance from me if you'd like. I don't particularly care. You don't have to agree with me. That's the beauty of the human race. We have opinions. So you don't have to agree with me. But ultimately, as I discussed at the start, it doesn't matter whether you like the Super League. It doesn't matter whether you think it's a great idea. It ain't going to happen, and it's dead on arrival as a concept, because there is no way that it would survive as a brand without Bayern, Dortmund, PSG, City, United, Arsenal, Liverpool, etc.
Yeah, I think for me, I think you're right. I don't think it is going to happen. I think that they had one shot, and that was the last shot that they had, and they missed bad. With the last time they implemented it, right, which is when they actually did it and everyone joined, right. That was the one opportunity that they had to get it through, and they needed it to be perfect, and it wasn't perfect, and now everyone is just skeptical. And I agree, even if they come out and signed all these contracts to say £25 tickets, free TV, merit-based system is properly based off domestic league position, people would just be so skeptical that, well, after 2 years, you'll just remove it all. And because no one trusts them. What they needed to do, the last time this was brought in a couple of years ago, it needed to be perfect then. So people were sat there going, well, why are we protesting? We're getting free football, £25 tickets. It's made by a system, but now that was the one opportunity, and they fudged it, and now not. And someone just said, I've got the Atletico Madrid have just released a statement on this. Guys, let me know if any English clubs have released a statement. Let me know, and I'll bring it up on screen. I've not seen anyone say they have, but this is the Atletico Madrid statement. By the way, just to clarify, the reason why this has all popped off today is because there's been a European court ruling that say basically UEFA do not have the monopoly. So in theory, there is nothing legally preventing a Super League from starting. UEFA cannot just say, oh, no, you can't do that, because that's anti-competitive. And therefore, Super League legally in Europe is allowed to begin. It's whether or not, as Nobbins has said, whether or not they can get the clubs to agree. Because without the clubs saying it, I can start a Super League tomorrow. If I've got no clubs, it's not really a product. But this is the Atletico Madrid statement. Atletico Madrid, after analysing the ruling of the Court of Justice of the European Union, wants to state the following. The resolution on the prior authorization framework for other competitions refers to old UEFA statutes that were already modified in June 2022. The European Club Association, the ECA, and UEFA have created a partnership that makes the consideration that UEFA is a monopoly meaningless, since the clubs, by virtue of the agreements adopted within this joint partnership, if they decide at 50% to whom the sponsorship and television rights are sold and the distribution of said income, as well as the competition formats. The European football family does not want the European Super League.
Come on, Atletico! Come on!
Yeah. This is the big one. Germany, France, England, Italy, Spain. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
They've name dropped. They've name dropped these frauds.
Yep. Except for Real Madrid and Barcelona, etc. They do not want the Super League. We are in favour of protecting the great family of European football, of protecting the domestic leagues, and through them achieving qualification for European competitions on the field of play each season. So again, they're referencing this fact. I mean, this is a pretty ham statement. They have name dropped Madrid and Barcelona, and again mentioned. And this is what I said at the start of this stream. There is one main reason still that this will not go ahead, and it's because merit-based qualification should be based upon your domestic success. That is what European football is founded on and always been. And I genuinely think that whoever's running the Super League, they just don't get it. They don't get it. If all they needed to do was come out and say, right, what are the main issues that fans had last time? It was the merit-based system. And you've still not properly addressed that. If they would have come out and said, right, we've listened to what you said last time, right? We fucked up. This is the situation. £25 tickets guaranteed for 10 years, right? So then straight away, a decade, £25 tickets. Match day fans will probably give that a tick, yeah? TV games, free for everyone. It'll have ads, but you can pay £12.99 a month and then remove the ads, yeah? Guaranteed for 10 years. Merit-based qualification based upon your domestic league campaign. Guaranteed for 10 years. Then, even Nobbins is sat there and say, well, if that's happening, then I don't really, I struggle really. Then you go into, well, no, I just don't like it. You know what I mean? You struggle then.
I was apparently my United friend has texted me. Apparently, Man United have released a statement, apparently saying they're also not interested. I don't know if that's true, but that's what he's messaged me saying. Don't know if we can bring that up or not.
I'm on the website now. I can't see anything on there.
Have I been lied to by Gasky? What a fraud, man. Another chat saying United statements as well.
I've just been on the website. Let me go on the Twitter page. Yep, we've got something. I don't know why it didn't come up on the homepage, but that's Man United for you. Right, okay, let's read Man United's club statement. Guys, keep on letting us know. If you're getting more statements in, let us know. Here's the Manchester United statement. Manchester United has issued the following statement in reaction to today's judgment by the European Court of Justice on the European Super League. Our position has not changed. We remain fully committed to participation in UEFA competitions and to positive cooperation with UEFA, the Premier League, and fellow clubs through the ECA on the continued development of the European game. So
good work.
Good
work, United.
Yeah, not as hammers Atletico Madrid, but a very clear, concise statement there from Manchester United to say they are not interested in this.
I mean, and also just to be fair from the English clubs, I mean, I guess they can be less ham with their statements because there is that massive legal barrier for them. Whereas with Atletico Madrid, they can. I don't think there's a La Liga barrier. I'm pretty sure there isn't. So they've obviously got to come out a bit harder to make it very clear that they aren't interested. So that's great. And this is great. It's already fallen apart. And what LB said was absolutely right. If the Super League, when it was originally announced, sold itself as a genuine alternative to UEFA, I would and actually didn't have this like weird, not actual merit-based thing, I would have been interested because I'm not actually a fan of, UEFA. I think as an organization, they are very poorly run and, they make a lot of bad decisions and stuff. It's not just being a City fan, it's just in general. I would have been interested in the notion of an alternative which could, challenge that system, but they did go about it so wrong, as you've already said, and they would have had a really good chance. And also, unless my memory's letting me down here, I'm pretty sure they announced this massive cash grab in a period when the country, the world was going through the financial mud. Like we were in the middle of like a COVID and like people like struggling in respect of furlough, etc. And they decided to announce like this massive cash grabbing scheme at the absolute wrong time. So it was done at the wrong time. It was done with the wrong intent, and it was just done in respect to the wrong format. So and it's just funny to see already, as it's all falling apart even quicker than it did at least last time. It's 24 hours before clubs started jumping ship. This time we've already got the likes of Atletico Madrid releasing mad statements.
Yeah, and I think this is probably just because of the fact that clubs just don't have the buy-in. Clubs. I don't think clubs know that this ain't going to get through, whether you want it or not. And there is people that want it. And listen, look, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. You know what I mean? If you want the Super League, ain't got no problem with it. You know what I mean? Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. No one said that a second ago. And there are quite a lot of people that want the Super League. You know, Lee was in the chat a minute ago. He wants the Super League. There's a lot of people in this chat that want the Super League. Ain't got a problem. You want the Super League. I understand it. And I actually think there is some stuff about the Super League that is better than the Champions League. The fact that you are going to be getting the best teams playing against each other, but there are also cons. And again, for me, the main cons are the qualification is just not it properly. The new Champions League sucks, LB. Well, that is actually something that I wanted to come on to, because, of course, this comes at a time where the UEFA Champions League is changing. And I want to go through that and try and understand how this is. How have you seen this, bro? Have you seen what this new Super League is? This new Champions League format.
Oh yeah, I did a video on it when it was first announced. Yeah.
Did you?
The Swiss format. Yeah. And that's banned, and that's basically just, I think I titled my video like Super League 2.0 or something. And I'm not a fan of that either. What I'm holding on to is the fact that the Champions League regularly goes through variations in respect of its format. Like around 20 years ago, it was 2 group stages and then knockout, and then it moved to singular group stage. Before that, it was solely knockout. Now it's going to this league format. So this isn't going to be the permanent future. There will be another change to the format, in like a decade or so. That's how it works. It's always evolving and changing.
I think basically, yeah, because you're right. I think that it is changing. I think UEFA have probably said to these clubs, look, we get your issue. We're working on it. We might not be able to get to the point that you want, but we can meet halfway. And if you let us do it, rather than you as clubs, we can get it past the fans, because it's UEFA, and people will be more trusting of UEFA, which is still wild, because we shouldn't trust UEFA either. But I think we're going to end up with some sort of Super League eventually, but it'll just be ran by UEFA. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think it will be as intense as the European Super League want it. So it's the Super League is changing. The Champions League is changing. When's it changed from 2025? Is it? Or is it next season?
I think this is the season we're in now is the final one. I'm pretty sure. And then it goes to the league situation. And the reason why it's doing that, the reason why they're doing that, as you say, is because you got these crybaby big clubs who want more guarantees about, getting to the later stages of the competition. Again, I know I'm having a big go at Barcelona here. I promise I don't hate Barca, but think about the 2 seasons preceding this one, they failed to get out of the group stage. Now, why is that? It's because in a shorter group stage format, there's more likely for variance and luck to happen. Whereas if you have a longer group stage, like a league table, if you're a better club, you are in general more likely to finish higher. So again, this format reduces jeopardy and makes it so that the elite, bigger clubs, whatever, have more of a safety blanket if there are more games played in the league table rather than a short form group stage.
Yeah. Guys, keep letting me know in the chat if there's any more statements being released. I imagine that you're going to get a statement from all the Champions League clubs in England. Now United have done it. I think City PI, Arsenal PR, they'll all be all over it now.
100%.
You know what I mean?
They've got to. They've got to, I think.
Yeah, because if they don't release one, now that United have it, it's almost as if like, oh, well, you've not released a statement, so you want it still, So
I'm amazed United came out first, actually, to be fair. I'm very impressed they came out first and so quickly.
Well, their club is so dead at the moment that they're probably
they haven't got anything else to do.
Let's be first. Let's be first releasing a statement. Christo says, sack the group stages, knockout FA Cup style is a star.
And that's what it was. That's what the European Cup was when it was first formed. It was just knockout football.
If you listen to what Nobby's just said about the jeopardy situation, that means that you could go out in the round 1 and then where's the cash coming from? You're literally screwed. So that's never
And that's why it will never
happen.
happen.
That's why it won't ever happen. But you're right. That is more entertaining, just having a straight out knockout. But yeah, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work now because they're never gonna accept that. Chris says Barcelona are crybabies, shouldn't be putting players on £750,000 a week. No wonder they are skint.
Well said, Chris. Yeah. Well said. And they give Frankie de Jong however many hundreds of thousands of pounds a week, and then they try to force him out of the club, and they wonder why they're in financial arrears. It's because you can't even get your own house in order. That's why you're in the mud, mate. Stop trying to blame others. Have some self-responsibility, idiots.
Wow.
Don't like the way Barca are run, in case you can't tell.
Right, big up to Fraser in the chat, bro. Got some breaking news.
Hello.
The Turkish giants, Besiktas, Fenerbahce, and Galatasaray are seriously considering joining the Super League.
That doesn't surprise me, to be fair.
No. Well, this is the thing. I think clubs or big clubs, right, that are, how do you say, not getting to the latter stages of the Champions League.
Yeah, it's in their interest.
I'd be very interested to know what Celtic and Rangers think about this, Nobbins. I'd be very interested to see what they think about this. You know what I mean? Because they're two clubs that typically don't get past. I mean, sometimes they struggle to get into the group stages. They struggle to get into the group stages. That for them, the Super League must be a very attractive financially. I mean, it must be a very attractive sort of proposition for Celtic and Rangers. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't blame them if they wanted to go into it, because what's that? Would that ruin anything in this the Scottish League? I mean, Celtic win it pretty much every year anyway. So, people will say it's going to make the gap bigger. I mean, that league is just Celtic win it every year anyway. So, I mean, I'm quite surprised. Does anyone know what Celtic and, I know Lewis is Scottish. Does anyone know what? Not me, Lewis in the chat. Does anyone know what Celtic and Rangers stance was on the Super League last time?
I might be wrong. I don't even think they were invited. I might be wrong, but I think in the initial format, I don't think they were the ones who were actually invited to the party. I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure they weren't, because it was a much smaller group of clubs, wasn't it? Wasn't it like 16 or something? And you had the six big six English clubs. You had three Spanish giants. You had PSG, two German clubs. Obviously the Italians. I don't think there would have been any room for them. That's not me disrespect to them, by the way. I don't think they were invited.
No. People get that. No, I think you're right, because last time there wasn't the three leagues, was there? It was just the one league. So yeah, they wouldn't have been invited. But now, obviously, because there's three leagues, they would be invited, and this would be, for them, this would be huge, because they'd be getting guaranteed cash. They'd be getting guaranteed European cash, and this would probably make this. I mean, as well, if you got a couple of. You could get, like, I don't know, what are the other big clubs in Scotland? You could get like Hearts in there. I don't know what some of the other big clubs.
Yeah. And again, I'm not trying to disrespect them, but I mean, this goes back to the Turkish thing. It looks like there's a Bayern Munich statement as well. No disrespect to Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, but when people say European Super League clubs, I'm sorry, but ain't no one talking about the big Turkish clubs, and that sounds really arrogant of me. But people are talking about, Real Madrid, Barca, Atletico Madrid, Bayern, PSG, United, Liverpool, City, etc. And they're not. So I'm not saying that you're not going to get enough clubs physically to do this league, but you are absolutely not going to get enough, quote, relevant or big clubs to do that.
Okay. So here's the thing, though. Here's the question for you. Could these clubs, go, well, we're not getting anything from this European Cup, so we're going to leave and go in our own European Super League, What would that do? So if you got like the two Scottish giants, all these Turkish clubs, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Juventus, maybe a couple of other Italian teams, PSG, what happens then? Do you think that they could? Because all they'd need to do in theory would be to generate revenues equal or above what they get in the Champions League. Do you think that they could do that without the English teams and the German teams?
I don't think. The lineup you've listed there from a neutral football perspective, if you look at the lineup there and you compare it to the lineup of the ones which we know aren't going to be involved, I think you'd have to be foolish to suggest that the lineup of including the Turkish clubs and Barca, etc., is more appealing than the ones who we know for a fact aren't going to join. So I think that you would lose that competition in terms of eyeballs.
But what this is doing as well, it's highlighting, and we'll come on to the Bayern Munich statement. I've got it up here. It's highlighting the fact that actually, you're right, it probably wouldn't be a great product, but if they left, if Celtic, Rangers, Galatasaray looked at their 10-year revenue from European competition and said to this new competition, right, well, we don't care if it's competitive or what. You just guarantee us we're getting this amount of money every year because that's what, on average, we get per year based off of European will go. Like these not smaller clubs because they're not small, they're huge, still huge clubs, but you get what I'm saying. Like they still have a little bit of power here because they could, European football and and European Champions League without the smaller clubs, you know what I mean, lesser clubs in terms of ability, like it just becomes a Super League anyway. But they're now going to be looking at it thinking, well, we could just go and do our own league, and just could you fracture off and just have like different leagues because people want different things. Do you know what I mean? It's
yeah, I mean, maybe again. I think I'm still happy with my conclusion that it would be a very watered down product, and you still wouldn't have the most interesting, best clubs in it overall.
No, you're right. But if they could guarantee the same cash every year for being in that competition, like I don't know, it's just weird. I don't know, it's just a weird situation. This is the Bayern Munich statement. Following today's judgment by the European Court of Justice regarding the Super League, Jan Christiansen Dreesen is the Bayern Munich CEO and Vice Chairman of the European Club Association, said the following. We have taken note of the judgment of the European Court of Justice. However, this does not change Bayern Munich and the ECA's position that such a competition will be an attack on the importance of the national leagues and the structure of European football. Again, look at this. This is what they've not thought of properly. The Bundesliga is the foundation of Bayern Munich, just as all national leagues are the foundation of other European football clubs. It is therefore our duty and our deep conviction to strengthen them, not to weaken them. We are also committed to the European club competitions under the umbrella of UEFA. So let me make it very clear once again that the door for the Super League remains closed at FC Bayern.
Hold that. It's a real club right there.
A real club that is
a real club.
A bit of a dead league, to be fair, but
yeah, but allow it.
Allow that bit. Apparently, Sevilla statement.
Come on, Sevilla. Don't let me down, Sevilla. Don't let me down. Come on, Jesus Navas. Negredo.
Yeah, I can't see this. The website's also awful, by the way. It's like the worst fucking website I've ever seen. But yeah, again, listen, the Bayern Munich statement and one of the statements before, both of them are referencing the importance of the domestic leagues. And this is what I said earlier on. They've not got it. They don't get it, Nobbins.
No. And they never will, because unless they change the people at the top, they will never understand it. They will never get it.
They don't get it, man. They don't get it. They don't get that the whole problem with this is because the major issue with this current proposal is the fact that you can finish 20th in your domestic league and still play European competition the next year. And that's what they're saying. This is what they say about the domestic league has to be where you earn it. But obviously, this Super League is a fundamental different approach to the way that European football is run. So I guess that's why it is like that. Okay, so Sevilla haven't released a statement, but they have put out a tweet. And it says this: earn it on the pitch. Ganatello en el campo.
Oh, that's cold. That's cold.
Yeah.
Good work, Sevilla.
They don't want it either, man. They don't want it either.
Work.
I want to see what City's statement is.
That's cold, man. Just because I tried to find the Sevilla statement. Obviously, there isn't one. But in 2021, they did release an official statement saying that they publicly state their complete rejection of the tournament. So with that tweet, that seems to suggest that they have totally rejected the concept of it. And it's great to see, because I thought, La Liga clubs may have been tempted into it. I thought they may have been persuaded by Real Madrid and Barca, but it's so good to see that they are just not being swayed. Again, Atletico Madrid, they're the third biggest club in Spain. That's massive for them to say they're not interested. That is huge. Just need like Bilbao to come out and like.
Why do you think? Why do you think that it's only Real Madrid and Barcelona in Spain? You know, you talk about financial problems, but you're not telling me some of these other teams that have financial issues. Why is Sevilla saying no? Why are Atletico Madrid saying no? Why is it just Barcelona and Real Madrid?
So, I mean, I don't claim to be an expert to Spanish football history, but as I understand it, obviously there is a big duopoly in Spain with Barcelona and Real Madrid, and they've always felt very entitled in terms of the money that comes into La Liga. Their basic argument is all the eyeballs are on us. We're the reason why all the money's being generated. Therefore, we deserve all of the money. That's why La Liga's broadcasting deals are structured differently to the Premier League's. Most of the money does already go to Real Madrid and Barca. So I suspect it's probably a cultural thing of they know they're the biggest, and therefore they've decided that they're entitled to the majority of the share of the pie, and that fosters an environment and a culture of greed. And I think that's why we're seeing that right now. Whereas the other clubs in Spain, quite fairly, would feel a bit aggrieved that that the Barca and Real Madrid are basically saying, "Oh, these other clubs are dead. We're the only reason why we're so relevant." That's a massive slap in the face to the likes of Atletico Madrid. So I guess it does make sense for them to stand against Barca and Real Madrid. Maybe that would be my very amateur analysis of that situation.
Okay, cool. Yeah, mad, isn't it? It's mad, but it's surely this is dead now. You know what I mean? I can't believe it's still got. I mean, it's dead anyway, but like, I can't believe that Barcelona and Real Madrid are still trying this. Like,
it's just desperation. That's what it is. Again, this is why Lee Gunnar was wrong earlier. The writing is on the wall in respect of these clubs. It's all well and good saying, "Oh, Real Madrid are doing great right now," and that but they know that what they are doing isn't sustainable from a financial perspective. They can see they can look across Europe and see what's happening elsewhere. They can see what's happening close to home with Barca and how they're struggling. It's going to happen to them as well if either they don't change or they change the rules, and they don't want to change. They want to keep being the Galactico club. Therefore, they want to change the rules in their own interest.
What do you think they should do? Obviously, they can't get this Super League through. They're obviously worried about the Premier League, right? Because the Premier League is just a mad product and generates all this cash, and like literally, like you could put like not even our top three teams against Real Madrid and Barcelona. You could I don't know. You could put Aston Villa, Newcastle. You could put all these teams. And obviously, we've seen Newcastle absolutely smack up PSG 4-1. That the Premier League now is just becoming so strong, and like not even our strongest teams. I mean, you've seen City slap up Real Madrid and Bayern Munich last year. What does La Liga? What does La Liga need to do to become more competitive and to get that product better? Because for me, when I look at it, they're very good technical players, and obviously Girona is slamming now, but like it doesn't seem to have the same spice as the Premier League. Why do you think that is?
Well, it goes down to what I said before about the fact that the La Liga TV broadcasting deals are structured in such a way where the majority of the share goes to the biggest clubs, whereas it's much more evenly distributed in England, for example. Now, obviously, there's still a lot of disparity in how it's distributed, but it's nowhere near as big a gap in respect of the lesser sides of Spain compared to the biggest sides in Spain as compared to the England counterparts. That's why the likes of Brighton, Villa, Brentford, Nottingham Forest, etc., can spend a lot of money because they are given a lot of money due to the structure of the TV broadcast deals. Therefore, by consequence, they can be more competitive. So whereas, as I say, in La Liga, they can't do that. I don't know who finished in the 15th in the Premier League last season, but whoever finished like 14th, 15th in the Premier League last season, whoever it was, they're going to have much more financial might than the La Liga equivalents. Therefore, they can spend more money. Therefore, they can be more competitive.
Yeah. No, yeah, it sounds right. But obviously, by doing that, you're initially weakening your top teams. This is the problem that they've got, is that
Mm.
to make the product better, you have to
Yeah.
give more money to the lower teams, which means give less
Yeah.
money to the top teams. Therefore, the top teams temporarily become weaker. But in the
Exactly.
long term, they probably come
Yes.
stronger because the product gets better and the more money comes in. So it's like you got to hit yourself in the pocket slightly at the
Yeah.
beginning. We've just had this come through from Jack Gorn, guys. He says, we have not had an official statement from Manchester City on the European Super League, but he was earlier pointed to their withdrawal statement in 2021. So fair to say they would not be joining up. So doesn't look like maybe City are going to release a new statement. They're simply just pointing people to their last statement back in 2021 when they left and effectively saying like they ain't doing shit.
I'd like a statement just to make it official, but I guess if they've already said they don't want to do it, then I guess technically they don't have to repeat. I would like it, but that's positive. That's at least positive. I mean, we knew it was going to happen anyway.
Yeah. No, it's a bit of a madness. Luton Town. What you know about Luton Town?
Oh, please tell me Luton have. Hello? Come on, Luton.
Luton Town made a statement. Nah, you got to be capping, man.
Oh, I hope they have. I'll have so much. I'll like. That means they're a bigger club than Galatasaray.
Nah. Luton Town haven't released a statement.
Oh, L. What a shame.
No, they've not released a statement.
I got excited then.
Yeah. So yeah, man. Listen, there we go. It's a bit of a madness. Real Madrid, Barcelona are not. Wait a sec, Fabrizio Romano.
They really thought they did something, and it's just funny. Like, again, no one's coming to their aid, and the allies they thought they were going to have are not interested, and it's just so funny.
Do you think maybe the reason they're pushing this is to actually try and get side changes to the UEFA Champions League? This is all just a mirage. This is all just a
facade.
Fugazi. Yeah, of like, oh, look at what we're going to do. But meanwhile, they're saying to UEFA, well, we'll stop this whole thing if you just make some of these changes.
I don't think so. I think that's already happened in the background. That the reason why the Champions League is being changed to this league format is because behind the scenes they will have been telling, is he called Ceferin, the UEFA president? They'll have been telling him, look, if you don't change it in our interests, then we're going to consider leaving or whatever. That's why that's why the format is being changed. So I think they've already played that card in terms of threatening to leave, and now they are just trying to do it. So I don't think this is a ploy. I think this is some bizarre lunacy and delusion where they think that this is the right thing to do for them, and they are just going to do it.
Yeah, there you go. Here's your answer, Nobbins. You was wondering before about the streaming platform. So the Super League announces the creation of a streaming platform. And you are right, there will be adverts. So all games will be free to watch. Anyone around the world, you can watch all Super League games for free. However, the games will have ads. Don't know how their ads will exactly work. Will they pop up live in a game where you miss some of the football? However, there would be a paid option to remove the ads. At the moment, don't know if there's any price like sort of attached to that. But yeah, there you go. So it would, yeah, it's like YouTube. It's exactly like YouTube then. So you get ads during the streams, the videos. Again, I don't know how ads would work during a live game, because what about if a team's going through on goal and then boom, you just get an advert? Like, or would they be specifically timed? Maybe someone's down injured and it's like they press the advert button when someone's down injured, so you don't miss anything. But there would be a paid option to remove the ads. Because imagine if you got an advert during the 93-20 moment.
Yeah.
Balotelli, Aguero. Have you?
And now word from our sponsors.
Yeah. You need to check your insurance out, guys. And it's just like, what's going on, man? So yeah, I don't know. I assume that they would be manually inserted.
Like in NFL or NBA.
Yeah, when nothing's happening. And obviously, if you don't like that, then you can pay, just like you can do with like YouTube, Twitch. Obviously, you become Twitch channel members, can't you? That gets rid of adverts as well. So, but it would be free. So there'll be a lot of people, Nobbins, that say, well, there's a lot of people that can't pay, can't afford Sky Sports, TNT Sports, And this provides a free option, and therefore that could be a good thing for those people. Like,
Yeah, and it's very clever of them to try to dress it up as something which it isn't, and try to get people on side by doing that. But again, as we've discussed, we know that it's nothing to do with that. It's just a
yeah.
smoke screen.
UEFA, I think UEFA should do that. I think UEFA should
It
get sack off TNT
Yeah.
Sports. Yeah,
Well,
sack
also
off all the.
The Premier League as well. They should just do their own streaming. They should just release their own app and their own streaming service. I'm amazed they haven't done that. Manscaped ads, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Probably because it's easier to do it this way. I don't know. But yeah. Listen, it's kind of Girona. I've apparently released a statement.
Oh, come on. City Football Group club sticking together. Come on, please, Girona.
Yeah. Oh no, they've not done a statement. They've just retweeted the.
Oh, that's as good as.
I think you're going to see this from all the La Liga teams.
Yes.
The earn it on the pitch. All the
That's
La
as
Liga
good as.
teams are basically
it.
going to be retweeting this here.
Yeah,
now, so.
hold that, you little Super League frauds. The mighty Girona don't want it. The best team in Spain at the moment don't want it.
Yeah. Listen, it's trending. Look, 142,000 posts trending. Twitter is apparently down as well, which is a madness given that on Twitter. But
Can I just ask? So we've had more official statements of clubs rejecting it than approving it, haven't we?
yes, because we have Man United, Bayern Munich, and Atletico Madrid.
That's so funny, man.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
I think that they know it's dead. I just think that I think it's probably just. I think they're doing this to try and push stuff through the back door of UEFA. Do you know what I mean? It's no surprise to me, yeah, that the Super League was trying to get in 2021, and then all of a sudden now we're getting all these changes for Champions League. There's no surprise to me that that's happened. You know what I mean? And now we'll probably get more changes in a couple of years' time. More changes to the Champions League. It's no surprise to me that the top leagues by coefficient now get an extra Champions League spot.
Oh yeah, and a safety
You know what
net.
I mean? This is for me. These people are not dumb. Yeah, these people are not stupid, and therefore, do they really think that this Super League is going through? Do you really think that they didn't check with Man United, all the English teams, the German teams, the Italian teams, the rest of the Spanish team? You reckon Real Madrid didn't ring them up and have a conversation, say, right, we've got all these new things that we're going to do with the Super League. Are you in? They all probably said, no, we're not in. So why are they still going for it? It's not because they think they can get it through, because they want stuff through the back door of UEFA. It's because they want to go to UEFA and say, we're going to keep pushing, and we're going to keep pushing until we get what we want at UEFA. And they probably accept that they're not going to get everything that they want, but the more protections they can get, yeah, as we spoke about earlier, the more guarantees and safety nets they can get to make sure that they stay in La Liga, stay in the Champions League, they'll keep pushing it, bro.
No, yeah, absolutely, and as I say, that's why we've got the current, or the future league format to give these clubs to basically placate and try to give these clubs like what they want without going too far. I don't know if it's true. I've just seen someone in the chat say that someone to do with French football have released a statement on the Super League. I've no idea if that's correct or not, but that would be interesting, because certainly when it was first announced, PSG flat out rejected it. I think they were the only French club invited actually originally. I'm not 100%, or if they accepted it, I don't know.
I don't know, bro, but there's some breaking news here coming out. UEFA are considering ditching the new Champions League format in favour of sticking to the current format. They say it as a way to beat the European Super League.
I would love if they did that, because I'm not a fan of the new format, and there's nothing wrong with the group stage situation. I don't know if that source is good or not. I don't know. I don't know. If that happened though, that'd be great. That'd be brilliant. That would be the one good thing to come out of the European Super League if we do keep if we do keep that format. That would be brilliant.
So this is the stuff about. Can you hear this?
I can't.
Oh, you can't hear that. That was something. Let me re-add it. Yeah, this is the streaming platform. Let me try again. Can you hear this?
Yes.
In recent years, live football matches have been delivered to fans in the same way, mainly through paid TV subscriptions.
What the
This
fuck is that font?
allowed fans throughout the world to view matches in the comfort of their homes. However, technology has evolved and how we watch football at home needs to evolve as well. Digital platforms and social media have fundamentally altered the way we enjoy movies, series, and sport. At the same time, the cost of football has become too expensive for many fans, and often 2 or 3 subscriptions are needed to see all matches. Football needs fresh thinking. It's time to bring all fans, billions of them, back to the game. Introducing Unify, our proposal to create a single direct-to-fan streaming platform offering all Super League matches and highlights for free. Supported by advertising, this platform will be available around the world and fans will enjoy the best football for free.
Oh, how kind of them. Just before we even talk about the... I just can't believe how shoddy that video is. I genuinely am a better video editor than whoever made that video. Do you see the fucking font, man? It's like if you asked AI to make a fucking video. It was unreal how... Think of the amount of money that's being pumped into this tournament, and that's the fucking Times New Roman looking ass. What the fuck?
We don't like the font, no.
Jesus, man. That is tragic.
But put the font aside. That is actually something that UEFA should do. That is one good thing. They should definitely do that.
Yeah. Look, I'm not against the idea of giving
like a scam.
I'm not against the idea of doing free, the optionally free content. That's absolutely fine. But again, we can't trust these people, man. Like this is. Do you trust Perez and Laporta to make football free for everyone? I don't think so. Like, come on, guys. If you fall for that, I'm sorry, but you're a fool.
Okay. Thanos says, LB, they're all agreed down on the low. That on the down low. Yeah. Nah, they all wanted it, bro. They all wanted it. They just know that they can't get it through now, innit? Thanos, you right, man. 100%. 100%.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to get over that. The quality of that video, man. That was staggering.
Martin says, was it a university project?
Yeah, high key. It actually looks like it. Like they've gone on Fiverr and asked someone to make it for them.
Something's happened with the Italian teams. Some Italian team. Well, this is an interesting one because a lot of the Italian teams wanted this.
Yeah, I expected the Italian teams to join it. To be honest, based on their initial reaction. Juventus especially, I can't remember what the other clubs said in the end. I know they all pulled out eventually, but outside of Juve. But
where's this thing about the Italian teams, guys? People saying something about the Italian teams.
Was there anything on the French football situation, or was that someone in chat telling a fib?
I don't know, man. I'm on Twitter now. I'm on Super League trending, and oh wait. Mark Goldbridge has tweeted, PSV, Feyenoord, Benfica, Porto, the Italian clubs, Red Star and Anderlecht have accepted the Super League. But I don't know. I don't know if he's just like laughing. I don't know if that's a joke. Is that true or?
Yeah. Again, no. Sorry, what were the Dutch teams?
PSV and I don't know the other team. I've got nothing now, but I think it was PSV and someone else.
Do you say Ajax? I don't know. But again, no disrespect to these clubs. These are not the juggernauts who I'm really interested in hearing from in respect of joining or not. These aren't the levels of Bayern and Atletico Madrid and Man United.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a joke or whether it's true.
Bonita in the chat says League have refused the Super League, but I don't know where that's from.
All official leagues are going to reject it, innit? This is the thing. All the actual leagues, the leagues aren't really important at this, unless like the Premier League, where you have like a contract to say, "Nah, you can't do it," which I'd still back them to find a way to get out of that. The leagues really isn't. All the leagues are going to say nah, but it's really down to the clubs, to be honest, innit? Because the clubs are the ones that really have the power.
Yeah, well, I guess it depends on how they structure the handbook. To be fair, or the rule book. So for the Premier League have I haven't read the Liga rule book. I haven't read the Serie A rule book, but the Premier League have already sorted that out by making it so it's impossible for English clubs to do it. So I mean, let's say, for argument's sake, Serie A come out and say we're against it, but then all the Italian clubs say, oh well, sod that, we're just going to go do it anyway. They can just rewrite the rule book and go, right, well, the rules are now you can't be in that one, and then that would put an end to it. So there is some there is some relevance with the national associations coming out and saying it.
Okay, that's fair. Should we have a look at what Florentino Perez had to say?
Oh God, this guy, man.
Because this is someone obviously who want this, yeah.
Someone who is a parasitic worm.
Yeah. So this is quite a long statement. So bear with me a sec. It says, from Real Madrid, we welcome with great satisfaction the decision taken by the Court of Justice of the European Union, which is responsible for guaranteeing our principles, values, and freedoms. In the coming days, we will carefully study the scope of this resolution, but I do anticipate two conclusions of great historical significance. First of all, that European club football is not and will never be a monopoly again, which is ironic coming from a Real Madrid person. And secondly, that from today, the clubs will be the owners of their destiny, which is what I was just saying. Clubs fully recognise our right to propose and promote European competitions that modernise our sport and attract fans from all over the world. In short, today, the Europe of freedoms has triumphed again, and today soccer and its fans have also triumphed. Faced with the pressures we have received for more than 2 years, law, reason and freedom are imposed today. And for this reason, Real Madrid will continue to work for the sake of football. Just as almost 70 years ago, we took a fundamental step in history of soccer with the creation of the European Cup. Today, again, we have the duty and responsibility to give European football the new impetus it needs so much. And for this, we will continue to defend a modern project fully compatible with national competitions, open to all, based on sporting merit, and that will effectively impose respect for financial fair play. A project that will bring economic sustainability for all clubs, and that above all will protect the players and excite fans around the world. We will do it despite the campaigns we have suffered, and that without doubt will intensify from today. But no one said that ending a monopoly after so many decades was simple. We are facing a great opportunity to improve European club football, a football at the height of the 21st century with a transparent governance that knows how to live with new technologies and that once again provokes the passion and emotion that fans really need. Let me tell European clubs that we are facing the beginning of a new time in which we can work in freedom from constructive dialogue, without threats, without acting against anything or anyone, and with the aim of innovating and modernising football to continue nurturing the passion for the fans. From today, the present and future of European football are finally in the hands of clubs, players and their fans. Our destiny belongs to us, and we have a great responsibility before us. This day will mark a before and after. It is a great day for the history of football and for the history of the sport.
I mean, yeah, this guy's just an idiot, man. Like, what is that? Look at his face. Look at his stupid face.
The picture, right? So he's talking about ending monopoly in football. Look at the photo. Look at the photo. Is this guy real? He's talking about ending the monopoly in football, yet he stood in front of all the trophies that Real Madrid have monopolized over the last 50, 60 years.
It's just disguising greed in like this notion of, oh, we're doing it for the good of the game and for the fans. It's like, no, you're not. You're doing it out of your own self-interest. And as we discussed, these people just don't understand anything. Like, I don't know what the situation is now, but like, do you remember when Perez came out and said, oh yeah, the young people of today, they don't like watching 90 minutes of football. Let's make 30-minute halves. These people don't know what they're talking about. It's insane. These people are insane. And are just, it's just greed and lust and vanity.
Yeah. Here's the Italian.
Oh, is this, what is this?
This is the president of the Italian Federation, warns clubs, join the Super League, and you're being left out of Serie A.
Oh, that's cold. That's cold. Good work, Serie A. Good work. Yeah. Love to see that. So they've taken a similar line to the Premier League. It would be good if they could get that ratified in their rule book, and I'm sure they will do that if clubs opt to try and leave.
Yeah. Some more news here. coming out on the Super League. Serie A would become Serie B, and the Bundesliga, the second division. And you know why they're doing all this? To damage the Premier League, which earns more because it's better. Real Madrid and Barcelona want to damage the Premier League, so they invented this tournament.
That's spot on. That is spot on. They are jealous of the product which they do not have, and it's a construct of their own making. And now they're in the shitter because they've made their shitty little bed, and they don't want to lie in it, and they want to nick someone else's bed.
Yeah. Listen, this is a dead situation, isn't it? This is a dead situation. This ain't happening.
No, yeah. Well, as we've discussed, it's dead on arrival. Like, this died a couple of years ago for a reason, and trying to turn it into a Frankenstein situation, it ain't going to change anything.
Rain says, jealous of what? What is La Liga jealous of? What is Real Madrid jealous of? Bro, come on, man. You know the answer to that. The Premier League is the most watched league in the world.
Our broadcast income, that's what they're jealous of. What the fuck do you mean? What are they jealous of? Hello? What do you mean? Why do you think they want to do this Super League?
Yeah.
Hello?
I know. I'm trying to work out here. Premier League broadcast deals, money. Should we try and work out how much the Premier League got?
It's a lot.
The Premier League is the richest domestic soccer league in the world, with its existing broadcasting deals expected to bring in more than £10 billion. That's $12.1 billion for a 3-year period. Right? So we can try and compare that to league. Right, okay, so yeah. Oh, fucking hell, bro. Yeah. Right, so the Premier League brings in £10 billion. Let's do dollars, actually. Yeah, let's do dollars. Does $12.1 billion in broadcast rights for a 3-year period. La Liga brings in $5.2 billion. So more than half, less than half, for a 4 or 5 year period. Yeah, I'll bring this up on screen. Is this a 4 or 5 year period, bro? My maths ain't mathing. So this is the Premier League. Yeah, $12 billion for 22 to 25. That's 3 years, isn't it?
3-year period, yes.
And then La Liga, $5 billion. Same year from, but is that an extra 2 years or an extra 1 year?
That's a 5-year period, 2022 to 2027. 5-year period, yeah.
So that's an extra 2 years. So they're getting less than half of the amount of money, that the Premier League gets, and they've also got to give them 2 years for free.
Yeah,
so it's like walking in.
Sorry, go on.
I was just saying, it's like walking into a shop, and you can buy one pair of trainers, you can buy another pair of trainers, and the other pair of trainers is half price, but they've also got to give you an extra 2 pairs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not really like what it's like.
But why would they be jealous? Why would they be jealous? Oh, literally, that's why. Because of what the product, whether you care about the Premier League or not, as a product, as an entertainment value, the numbers and the figures don't lie. There is a reason why it's the richest in the world. Whether you think that means the elite clubs are better isn't a relevant point. They are very jealous of the Premier League. That is what they want, because they want money. That is why they are trying to join the Super League. This is not a hard concept of why they would be jealous.
If you do it by years, the Premier League generates around $4 billion per year, right? And the La Liga generates $1 billion a year.
If they felt they were making enough money or as much money as they wanted, then they wouldn't be interested in the Super League. If the Premier League didn't exist, they wouldn't be interested. But they are, because they know that there is this product abroad which is more valuable, and they want a piece of that pie, and they know they can only get a piece of that pie if they make their own little competition where they can make their own little rules. That's the reason why it's happening. The proof is in the pudding. This whole thing is born out of jealousy. It's not born out of this altruistic idea of, we're going to help the fans and blah, blah, blah. If anyone actually believes that, then you are just lost and a fool.
Yeah, there are still a lot of people that want it, man. You know what I mean? Adam in the chat says UEFA and FIFA are way corrupt. Time to make room for something new. Amar with a super chat says Super League's better than the Champions League. F UEFA. So listen, there are people that still want this, and I've got to say as well, for me personally, like I say, I think the competition. I think it'd be a better competition, but ultimately, there's a couple of things wrong with it. The merit system is not right. They need to go back to the drawing board and make it purely based off of domestic success. And I do have a bit of an issue with all these things that they're promising us. The free TV, even with the paid option to get rid of the ads, which is fine. I completely understand that. The £25 tickets and everything else that they promise. I'm skeptical that once it's in, they then start to change the rules. And in 2 to 3 years of it being in, we're going to change it now. We can't sustain £25 tickets anymore. We can't sustain free TV. So sorry, we're gonna have to change, because now it's in. Once it's in, it's more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And they talk about monopolies, and they talk about, oh yeah, we want to do that. There is no way that you can convince me that this Super League, what the Super League want to be the Champions League. They want to be the only relevant European competition. So you're not going to convince me that they're fine. That the Super League would be fine with being in competition with the Champions League. They want to destroy it, and they want to make it irrelevant. They want to be the last man standing. And when that happens, they will, as you've just said, just start to up prices as much as they want, because they can do.
Yeah. No, there we go. There you go. Yo, big up to JTI, man, coming in and dropping 5 bomb on the chat.
Big
5
up.
gifted memberships on the 5 bomb from JTI. That went to big up to Ponit, who got a gifted. Abdi Salad, Daniel, James, big up James, and Fun Fat Sky, all getting a membership courtesy of JTI. Big up JTI. Appreciate the support, mate. Hopefully doing well. Big up to you. Thank you very much. Mancunian Way says you missed the Serie A statement. I think we read it out before, didn't we?
Yeah. There was a tweet which we read out.
Yeah.
About Serie A rejecting it, saying that Serie A clubs would not be welcome in Serie A if they joined it.
That's it. This is the thing, right? Briggs is spot on in here. Be 25 quid in year one, but by the end of 10 years, it'll be 200 quid. This is because we don't trust them, Briggsy. We don't trust these people. Do you know what I mean? This is why I go back to what I said earlier, and I maintain my point on what I said earlier. They have one opportunity to get this through the door. One. And that was back in April 2021 when this whole thing popped off. And they needed to basically come in with everything perfect. And it should have been perfect, because these people are not dumb. They know fans like to moan. Yeah. They should have gone to fan groups and said, what do you think about this proposal? And all the fans would have said, nah, go back to the drawing board, change it. What do you think about this? And then on every topic, ticket prices, TV streaming, competition setup, the different type of competitions, the way you enter the competitions. Once all that, and once they've gone to all the fan groups, and all the fan groups said, yep, then they should have gone bang, yeah? And they should have come out, and they should have been like, yo, check this out, yeah, check this out. Look what we got, £25 tickets, 10 years guaranteed, all this kind of crap, but they didn't, and now they messed it up. We got a UEFA statement, bro.
Well, I think we know what they're going to say, to be fair.
What, hazard a guess?
We welcome the Super League with open arms, and Perez is a beautiful man who definitely isn't a crook.
Slightly wrong.
Okay. You surprised me.
UEFA, this is the official statement. Big up to everyone in the chat. Let me know about this, by the way. Big up to everyone in the chat. Says UEFA takes note of the judgment delivered today by the ECJ in the European Super League case. This ruling does not signify an endorsement or validation of the so-called Super League. It rather underscores a pre-existing shortfall within UEFA's pre-authorization framework, a technical aspect that has already been acknowledged and addressed in June 2022. UEFA is confident in the robustness of its new rules, and specifically that they comply with all relevant European laws and regulations. UEFA remains resolute in its commitment to uphold the European football pyramid, ensuring that it continues to serve the broader interests of society. We will continue to shape the European sports model collectively with national associations, leagues, clubs, fans, players, coaches, EU institutions, governments, and partners alike. We trust that the solidarity-based European football pyramid that the fans and all stakeholders have declared as their irreplaceable model will be safeguarded against the threat of breakaways by European and national laws. That's fair. I wouldn't be so blasting that out personally, because it's not like us fans having attachments to UEFA. Well, it's not like, I'm not going to speak for everyone actually. It's not like I have an attachment to UEFA. They're just the ones running the current system. But this is what I go back to. If there is an appropriate alternative that is fair and better for fans, I don't care whether it's UEFA, I don't care whether it's the club, so long as it's legit and it's not a scammer. You know what I mean? So yeah, I agree with what you're saying, but no, we ain't supporters of UEFA. You know, no one's got a UEFA. Yeah, like beyond, and this is it. Beyond Belief, I think, has been a massive supporter of not the Super League. Correct me if I'm wrong, Belief, but I'm pretty sure I've seen you in the chat today saying you're not for the Super League. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that we're all sitting here with UEFA flags on our walls.
Oh no, yeah,
I Champions League anthem. No,
yeah, I don't like UEFA as an institution. There's a lot wrong with UEFA. But you've got to be logical and look at it as a case of, well, it's a lesser of two evils, surely. You know, you can be against the Super League, like, wholeheartedly, but that doesn't mean you have to love UEFA at the same time. Like, you can acknowledge that there are issues with both of them, and there are big issues with UEFA as well, but you can still also acknowledge the fact that it's still better to, you know, stick with UEFA and the Champions League and try to improve it from within, than to just sack it off entirely and put our faith and our trust into these ridiculous guys. Oh, what have you seen? What have you seen?
Bro, check this out, man. Seferin Cooks. You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. Let me try and how do I wanna do this slowly. Right, check this out, Nobbins. You're gonna love this. This is Seferin, yeah. UEFA President Alexander Seferin on the Super League. We will not try to stop them. They can create whatever they want. Watch this. I hope they start their own top competition as soon as possible with 2 clubs. Oh, he's cooked him, man.
He's done him. He's done them, to be fair.
He's cooked him there. He's absolutely cooked Real Madrid and Barcelona. I hope they start their top competition as soon as possible with 2 clubs. Oh my God, what a guy!
That's cold, to be fair. I don't like Seferin, but that is cold.
That is pretty funny. But yeah, just to FYI, UEFA, yeah, like you're kind of right what you're saying, but don't start thinking that we all love UEFA. We don't.
Don't get it twisted.
Don't get it twisted. We just don't like what's currently being offered by the. Well, some people do. I like some of it. I don't like some of it. But if this is where it gets interesting. If they come back with a Super League proposal that is iron solid or whatever the word is, whatever the phrase is, ironclad, is that it? What's the ironclad? Yeah,
that's fine.
Everything's perfect. Then there's a conversation. Don't just think, because what you're saying there is wrong. You put in your statement, the fans and all stakeholders have declared as their irreplaceable model, yeah, and will be safeguarded against the threat of breakaways by European and national laws. Don't get it twisted, yeah. You ain't special, UEFA. You just the guys that are running the thing. If there's someone else that comes along and offers us a project that as fans we want, yeah, and we like, we're not saying that we will never be open for change, because change has happened multiple times with the English Football League, with the European Cups. We're just saying we're not really, well, I'm not saying, a lot of people are just saying they don't really like what's on offer. So don't start getting a big I am, celebrating, having a party tonight thinking UEFA. Nah, it's not about that, mate. Don't get it twisted, Briv.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, cool. Anything else we want to moan about before we go? Before we wrap up?
I've not been moaning. I've been speaking straight facts. No, I think I'm good. I've said what I wanted to say. I didn't think it would capitulate as quickly as this, to be honest. I thought it would take a few days for clubs to come out and say. I did think that some of our league clubs would have supported Barcelona and Madrid, but it's really funny to see they haven't. It will be interesting to see if, the Italian clubs make individual statements. But it's good to see that League Art have apparently made a statement. It's good to see Serie A have made a statement. Obviously, we know the Premier League clubs' stances. We know the Bundesliga clubs' stances. Yeah, it's fallen apart quicker than I could have hoped for. and it's just really, really funny.
Yeah.
And they can hold that.
They can hold that.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, big up to everyone that's joined, man. People want to talk about Walker's comments. I'm going to do a video on that on More LB. So make sure you're following the second channel. Link in the description, or just go on YouTube and type in More LB. I'm going to get a video up on that straight away. I'm going to be live tonight, probably a bit later on, to do a preview of tomorrow's final. So feel free to join me on that one. Nobbins, what you got coming up on the channel, Brie?
Well, I will be. I hope if you guys don't know, I have my own YouTube channel where I'm mainly doing football analysis videos. So when the Club World Cup is over, I'll be doing a video which covers both City games, where it hopefully went right for City, and hopefully we lift the trophy. So I'll be tactically, and thank you. I'll hopefully be analysing a Man City Club World Cup victory, and I'll be assessing how we won it or how we did not win it, depending on the outcome tomorrow.
Yeah. There we go, guys. Make sure you're following Nobbins, man. We do the Nobbins shows as well. The Elbins show. Are you available on Saturday
to discuss the game? I should be. Yeah.
Oh, well, I message you on WhatsApp. Hopefully, we can get an Elbins show, but not all the time. But we would try and get Elbins shows in. They're pretty good. People like them. So make sure you're following.
They're pretty good.
They're just all right. I give 6 out of 10. Make sure you're following Nobbins. Make sure you're following the second channel, More LB. I'll get a video up on Walker on that in a bit. Big up to Andrew Wright, Crystal B, Sign Silver, Thanos City, Amar, and JTI for the memberships and gifted. Appreciate you guys. And the final thing I would say is Barcelona, Real Madrid, hold that.
Big up, Jerome.